Now, by popular demand, this is the guy who made NewsNation famous on election night 2024. Here he is, the great Scott Tranter, Director of Data Science with Decision Desk HQ. You really did. Okay, so, we used to talk every day back then, right? So I'm trying to use the whole wall today for our conversation. And first of all, we put balance of power up because that's what it's all about, right, is margins. So, and we know how slim and these margins are. But in this race in particular, which Brooke was talking about, Florida 6, I mean, Mike Waltz won by a mile, right? The last time around, 67% of the vote. And now we have the money flowing in. But first, in the first district, which we're not watching as closely, Democrats are outspending Republicans. But in the 6th district, look at that, $10 million for the Democrat. All right. All of that said as a setup, Scott, what should we realistically expect tonight? How close do you think this will be?
So it looks like Randy Fine is favored to win. The question is, when those first votes drop, is he behind in the count or is he ahead? We expect him to probably be ahead as the night goes on. But if he starts out with those first early votes dropping and he's behind, it could be a long night. The over-under, Randy Fine, we think, is probably to win somewhere between by 7 to 10 points. If it's under that, he's really underperforming, potentially losing. If it's over that, he's doing a little bit better than expectations. But as you noted, even if he's over 10-point margin, he's less than Michael Walz was when he won just a few months ago. Yeah,
67-34. Do you believe in all of that politically, sending a message or, a win's a win type of a thing in a case like this? What does history show us, if anything?
I come from a world where a win is a win.
I thought
but look,
so.
I get demographic trends. This is a district that Donald Trump won by 30. We're seeing pieces of data like this and other special elections, statewide special elections and special elections where the Democrats are overperforming. That is some tea leaves we're going to be tracking into 2026, and I'm sure you and I are going to be talking about it a lot.
I look forward to that. I want to spend some time on Wisconsin because that's a really close state, a 50-50 state, and we have the wall dedicated to that one as well. So just big picture on the race in Wisconsin, it's the conservative on the right, Schimmel, and the liberal on the left, Crawford. But again, this one is really, really interesting to watch from a campaign perspective, too, in terms of the money flowing in. This is the Crawford campaign on the left side of the screen and the Schimmel campaign on the right. And, a lot of people were talking about this money being kind of Elon Musk and the other side being George Soros, with all the money that's been spent. This is how it kind of breaks down in terms of donors, as you see there. So, all right, so that's the money. What about the race here? Because I think, one of the things that's interesting is that Wisconsin's usually a 50-50 state. You never know how it's going to go. What about tonight?
Yeah, it is a 50-50 state. It's a state that the Republicans did well in 6 months ago, but they have a history. Wisconsin's like one of my favorite off-season states. They always have these statewide judge elections and a governor recall. Most it's just for political nerds like myself, but this is one where the Democrats tend to do better in these off-year elections, these judge rates, those types of things. As you pointed out, Elon Musk handed out a couple $1 million checks a couple nights ago. It's obviously something the Republicans are focused on. Right now, Crawford, the Democrat, is favored. This one, look, if it's like it was in 2024, we won't be able to call this race until around 11 or midnight.
I think it's the Trump, everybody keeps saying, oh, is it a message to Trump? Or maybe it's a message to Elon Musk. You see him with the checks there. We go back to the wall for a second. We have Trump's ratings in both states, in Florida and Wisconsin. And I would focus more, at least I'll focus for now, more on the unfavorable side, right, which is on the right side of the screen over here. So you see the president has is more favorably seen, no surprise, in Florida. But again, I said Wisconsin's a 50-50 state, but 53% unfavorable is pretty high. So there could be something in this for Trump. A lot of people keep saying it's a referendum on Musk, though. I don't know.
Both names are being thrown around, but I think you highlighted the wedge stat there. Slightly more popular in Florida, slightly less popular in Wisconsin. This race is about local judgeships, but that's not what these people going to the polls are thinking, and that's not what they're seeing on the airwaves. And so, yeah, there'll be a lot of fun to talk about tomorrow, especially if Crawford pulls out, a 4 or 5 point win.
All right, we'll watch it tonight with your numbers, of course, from DDHQ, and we'll talk tomorrow. Again, Scott, thank you. Scott Tranter with us on the numbers today. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.